Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. We have discussed about the evil doctrine of karma and phala and proved that it was not a part of the Vedic literature but a later addition to distort the Vedic understanding. We have also seen how evil it is for Hindus to depend on the vibrations of the sounds from the Vedic chanting. I have mentioned a few things in those videos where I said I will talk about the yajnas and their purpose, and all about the Prajapati, who he is, and what is the significance of mentioning him. So let us begin to talk about these things in detail. We briefly talked about the verse from the Rig Veda, chapter 10, lesson 121 and verse 1, which is part of the hymn of creation, also known as the Purusha Sukta, or the golden embryo hymn. This hymn reflects the origin of the universe and describes the supreme power that brought creation into existence. The term Hiranyagarbha, golden womb or golden embryo, symbolizes the cosmic seed or the primordial state of the universe before creation. It suggests a singular, formless, self-existent entity from which all creation emerged. This aligns with the Vedic idea of a singular universal essence. The verse declares Hiranyagarbha as the sole lord of all existence, guys. It emphasizes the monotheistic undertone within the Rig Veda, identifying a singular supreme power above all creation. Hiranyagarbha is described as the one who holds both the heavens and the earth. This portrays him not just as a creator but also as the sustainer of the cosmic order. And you must know that this is not Vishnu, guys, as the Hindu mythology wrongly portrays. And then at the end, the verse concludes with a rhetorical question: to whom shall we offer oblation? Right? This invites reflection on the nature of divinity and the appropriate recipient of human devotion. It implies that the supreme being who created and sustains the cosmos deserves worship and offerings. And this supreme being mentioned in the Vedas is none other than the Prajapati, who is nothing but the prophecy about Jesus Christ from the Vedas, guys. We will prove that as we move forward. It was just like the prophecies mentioned in the Old Testament about Jesus Christ, like the verse in Isaiah chapter 7 and verse 14. Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son and will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. Hindus have moved so far away from the truth because even if we show the truth from their own scriptures, they will not leave their false gods and idol worship. Hence, here is that truth and the Bible verses to go with them. The hymn of creation of Rig Veda describes one supreme being responsible for creation, resembling the biblical view of God as the creator of heavens and the earth, which is mentioned in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 1. And the depiction of Hiranyagarbha sustaining the cosmos parallels the biblical God who upholds all things by the word of his power. This is mentioned in Hebrews chapter 1 and verse 3. And lastly, the hymn's rhetorical question, to whom shall we offer oblation, echoes the first commandment in Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3, which says like this: you shall have no gods before me. It is not that God is selfish when he says, you shall have no other gods before me, like most Hindus argue about it. It is about the truth that no one being or an object is worthy of receiving such worship. It is also a Vedic truth, as you all can see clearly now. Earlier, I have mentioned that Vishnu was not mentioned in the Vedas. In fact, he was mentioned, but not as the Hindus view him from the Puranas or any of the mythological texts. Vishnu is not depicted as the supreme being in the Vedas, but as a god who supports other deities like Indra. His role is supplementary, guys, aiding in cosmic functions such as protecting the universe, creating space, and ensuring the proper functioning of natural and divine laws. In simple terms, Vishnu and Indra are like the angels, Michael and Gabriel in the Bible. Michael and Gabriel are not worthy of worship, yet they implement what was asked by God. So literally, no one worships them. In fact, they openly refused worship. This was according to Isaiah chapter 45 verse 5, Revelation chapter 19 verse 10, and Revelation chapter 22 and verse 9. The angel said, "You must not worship me. I am a fellow servant with you and your brothers the prophets, and with those who keep the words of this book. Worship God." So the evolution of Vishnu as the supreme being in the later Hindu texts prove that Hinduism at some point has become progressive and distorted just because no one understood the Rig Veda. By worshipping Vishnu and his various so-called avatars, the Hindus are committing adultery against their own creator. And this is called idolatry, guys. I'm deliberately bringing this up here because Hindus often point out that the Bible is the one that is distorted and lost in all translations, but in reality, it was their departure from the Vedas, especially the Rig Veda, that put them in a compromising position today. It is very unfortunate. And the most saddening part is that they think they know everything and that they are happy with the way they are, believing in reincarnations and karma and worshipping multiple false gods. But they are on their path to hell because of the lack of the knowledge of God and their own root scriptures. Anyway, coming back to the topic, most of my analysis in this series will be restricted to the Rig Veda because Rig Veda is the oldest of the four Vedas, dating back to around 1500 to 1200 BC. That is right around the time when Moses compiled the Old Testament, that is the Pentateuch, that is the Torah. Rig Veda is also the most accurate and unadulterated form of scriptures that the Hindus have. It is considered the foundation of all Vedic literature. In fact, all other Vedas borrow from the Rig Veda and built upon it on ritual instructions, musical notations for chanting, and mystical and folk traditions. We talked about these chantings and mysticism on how evil they really are. Now let us talk a little bit about the yajnas, or the sacrifices. The most important sacrifice of all in the Rig Veda is the sacrifice of the Purusha, who is none other than the Prajapati. You can find this in the Purusha Sukta of the Rig Veda. The Purusha Sukta describes a divine being, that is Purusha, sacrificed by the gods to create the universe. From his body, the four castes or varnas and all creation will emerge. I understand that the descriptions are vague, but as I said, this is a prophecy about Jesus Christ. Whenever I see gods in the Vedas with a small g, it translates into God's angels in my mind. These gods with small g's are not worthy of worship, guys. Anyway, if you understand the nature of these prophecies, they are all very vague, even in the Old Testament. That is why people have hard time understanding the prophecies if they don't have the complete picture on how God operates. Look at the fulfillment of this Purusha Sukta prophecy. Jesus, the Son of God, offered himself as the ultimate sacrifice to redeem fallen humanity. This is according to John chapter 1 verses 1, 2 and 3 and Colossians chapter 1 verse 16. Jesus offered himself as the ultimate sacrifice also to create a new redeemed earth where heaven and earth will dwell together for eternity, guys. So the Purusha Sukta is essentially talking about a sinless and perfect world that will be created after the sacrifice. Obviously, this sinless world will be emerged after the second coming of Jesus Christ. So only a part of the prophecy is fulfilled as we know, and the complete prophecy is yet to be fulfilled. And just as the Purusha was sacrificed and divided for the new creation, Christ's body was broken on the cross to bring salvation to the world, according to 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 24. And of course, that will pave the way for the new creation at the end of the age. The Bible says that the creation waits with eager longing for the revealing of the sons of God. For the creation was subjected to futility not willingly, but because of him who subjected it in hope that the creation itself will be set free from its bondage to corruption and obtain the freedom of the glory of the children of God. For we know that the whole creation has been groaning together in the pains of childbirth until now. This is according to Romans chapter 8, verses 19 through 22. Did you see that? Let us continue this discussion next week. I hope you have learned something new in this video. God bless you all, and I will see you in the next one.